Alright, so, you know how do I even start this? So when I was a little girl, I watched Disney movies, obviously. They were all awesome, whatever. 90s baby, that happens. Okay, so I love Pocahontas. I love Pocahontas, like, a whole lot. It's one of my favorites. I can't tell you why. Okay, whatever. I love Pocahontas. So, I finished watching Pocahontas tonight, and when I was done, I noticed that there was a second movie. You know how Disney did like a bunch of remakes, like seconds and thirds of all these old classic movies. Okay, well, I watched Pocahontas too, like, really excited, thinking it was going to be pretty good. I've never been more wrong about anything in my entire life. Like, I'm so pissed I'm making a video about this right now. My boyfriend is too busy playing video games that he can't listen to me. So, completely joking, babe. You know I love you. So, I'm gonna make a video about it. So, basically, the way that the movie goes, Pocahontas and her tribe or whatever, they're living alongside Jamestown. Like, there's English people, white people, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, they're in Jamestown, and they're all kind of living, together. And that's fine. Whatever. That's kind of the way that it went. But I guess Ratcliffe, he convinced the king that John Smith was the traitor whenever they got back to London or England or wherever the hell they went. And so he kills him. But, so, like, Pocahontas finds out that he's dead. And it's been a couple years or something, and she's really upset about it. But anyway, so, the king decides that he wants to go to war with the Indians and take their land, and that's because Ratcliffe convinces him of that. Bleh, but whatever. Okay, so, where was I? Anyway, so this new guy, his name is like John Ralph or something like that. He goes over on this ship. He's gonna go talk to the Indians and try to get I think it's like Powhatan or something like that. I don't know. Pocahontas' dad, the chief. He's trying to convince him to come over with him to London to meet the king and try to solve all this stuff. Well, he doesn't want to go, and Pocahontas decides to go. So Pocahontas goes on this big ship with this new guy named John Ralph, and they go over to London, and it's all crazy, whatever. Well, later on in the movie, she finds out that John Smith is alive. He faked his death, and whatever, And while she's with this John Ralph guy, like, walking around doing stuff, whatever, well, actually, he was saving her from a dungeon. Anyway, they run into John Smith, and she's like, oh my gosh, you're alive. Ah. And you're really happy, because you're like, yay, her and John Smith, they belong together. That's the way the story goes. Well, you find out later because John Smith asked this new John Ralph guy. He's like, hey, you love her, don't you? And he's like, well, really, yes. The new guy is in love with Pocahontas, and you can kind of tell there's a little bit going on.
You're crazy.
Once John Smith jumps back in the picture, it's like, yay, Pocahontas and John Smith. John Ralph go, I don't care. At the end of the movie, at the end of the freaking movie, John Smith's like, hey, we're back together. Yay! And everyone's like, woo, yay. No. She decides to go back to her people, and she leaves him in London, and he is okay with this. And she is okay with this. And while she's on the ship, and they're already, like, heading back to, well, here, I guess, the John Ralph dude's on the ship. He left London to be with Pocahontas. She picked the wrong John! I can't get over this. Like, my whole childhood is destroyed by this. I has anyone seen this movie? Like, have you seen this movie? Has anyone that likes Pocahontas seen this movie and is like completely ashamed of her right now? I don't care if he was a good guy or whatever, but the series should follow the way it's supposed to go. Pocahontas, John Smith. That's what we've always said our whole lives. Everyone knows it. Who the hell is this John Ralph guy? You tell me who he is. Because I don't even want to know. I'm done. This is why I don't watch sequels. Like, that are like 10 years later or 20 years later. Because what is the point? They don't even care about their fans. Like me, they don't care. They don't care that my heart is broken, my life is shattered, and I don't understand what to do. So, enough. No more. Never watching another sequel again. We're just gonna erase that movie from my memory because I like her and John Smith together. And that's the way that it's gonna be. That's the way it is. So, yeah, that's how my night went. I have a day off work, and instead of doing anything else, I'm complaining to the internet about a Pocahontas sequel. What am I doing with my life? No. It was important. Don't ever watch Pocahontas 2 or any other Disney remake because they'll ruin your freaking day, your life, your belief system. It's not even Disney. Walt Disney himself is probably rolling in his freaking grave right now, pissed off about this. And yes, I realize that I'm like way too late. Like, this movie probably came out like 10 years ago. I have no idea, but I just now watched it and I'm pissed. No. I can't even talk anymore. I'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye.